I'm ranking the top 10 layer one cryptocurrency projects in the market today, according to CoinMarketCap. In this video, the coins being ranked include Ethereum, BNB, Solana, Toncoin, Cardano, Avalanche, Tron, Polkadot, Near, and Internet Computer. What I've simply done is I've gone to CoinMarketCap, looked at the top 10 layer ones, and we're ranking those based on CoinMarketCap. Now, my ranking is based on two key factors: value proposition, so what makes a project stand out and how important that is, and the future outlook and potential of said project. So stay tuned because a tier B rank was probably going to shock you. Please note, a lower ranking does not mean the project is bad. The rankings are all based on the two aforementioned categories. So let's start with the lowest tier, which is tier D. And our first coin we're talking about is BNB, the Binance Smart Chain. So Binance Smart Chain was created by Binance, the largest cryptocurrency exchange in the world. The vision of the Binance chain, as outlined here from their own website, BSC was born in time for DeFi revolution as the public showed increased interest in alternative financial solutions and use cases powered by blockchain. And it was to keep users in their ecosystem at the height of DeFi summer. The biggest issue, though, with BNB is a massive centralization of their token, as seen here from coincarp.com, the BNB token rich list. Almost, well, over 50%. If you include this 1.69% here at the bottom, you can see here they're labeled Binance as the wallets. So over 50% of the coins are controlled by the entity that launched the chain. Not very good for decentralization, which is more than 50% of the circulating supplies. Now, value proposition. What are some of the things that make BNB unique? Why is it in the top five? Why do people continue? The first part is, well, it's part of the largest exchanges ecosystem, right? So Binance is ranked number one on all exchanges with a 9.9, with a cumulative trading volume of the last 24 hours of almost $17 billion. The second one is Bybit at $3.7 billion, 14.7 million weekly visits, and over 1,600 markets available on Binance. Also, it has a dual chain infrastructure which enhances the BNB token. As you can see here, a couple of things I've highlighted here from Cointelegraph. The BNB chain's ecosystem dual chain architecture enables interoperability through the native BNB token, which powers the BEP20 and BEP2 token standards. So, and then also a couple things here as well. Some of the objectives: boosted BSC throughput, introduction of an on-chain governance mechanism, one chain to multi-chain scaling, overall improved scaling solutions, and expansions of their validator set. So that's one. Second one is it's always been very easy to launch tokens on BNB. It was easy, fast, and cheap. At one point, it became known as the kind of the meme coin scam chain. But if we take a look at the verified contracts on BNB, they've kind of been tanking since the height in July towards the middle of 2021, as you can see here from this chart from bscscan.com. Now, what does the future outlook look for BNB? Well, the biggest thing is resources and money, right? Obviously, Binance being the number one chain, got a lot of money, a lot of support, a lot of resources. So to date, Binance has invested more than $1 billion into the BSC ecosystem to support its ongoing and intensifying rivalry within the Ethereum network and other layer one blockchain systems. The effort hopes to alleviate criticisms regarding BSC being overly centralized. So very interesting there. Also, the second one looking forward is potentially airdrops. This is from Markets and Business Insider. BNB Chain launches Chapter 2 of its Airdrop Alliance program. The program is poised to stimulate renewed activity in BNB Chain's thriving ecosystem and aims to continue rewarding the community for its support and contribution to the BNB chain. And the last one here is, it's going to kind of sound funny, but because of the centralization of the token, the BNB token's price has kind of shown resilience in bear markets. So if you want to kind of not get those 90, 95% drawdowns, history has shown us that BNB token might be a good place to park your money. We take a look here. BNB on the weekly, from cycle top to cycle bottom last cycle, it drew down less than 70%. We take a look at a competitive layer one like Avalanche. that drew down over 93%. And so if you want to make sure you don't get 95% drawdowns, BNB might be a good place to start. So that was your tier D token. Let's jump into tier C. And the first one we're going to talk about is Tron. Now, Tron is an OG in our layer one space, right? Created in 2017 by mega millionaire and notorious entrepreneur Justin Sun. Justin is known for his bold decisions, like knowingly launching the TRX token ICO just days before China banned the ICOs, then proceeded to move out of China and spending hundreds of millions of dollars acquiring projects and exchanges in our space. Tron is popular in Asia, and the main utility of the chain is what puts it in the C tier instead of the D tier, but it's also the reason it's in the C tier and not in the A or S tier, if that kind of makes sense. Let me explain. So why do people use Tron? What gives it its value? What's the value proposition? Extremely cheap and high stablecoin usage. You can see here from, this is an article from CoinDesk. USDC on Tron blockchain surpasses $100 million 2 days after public unveiling. 2 days. So one thing I've highlighted here as well, this could be another sign that crypto traders are increasingly turning to blockchains that provide cheaper transaction fees with faster speed than what's found on Ethereum. Also, speaking of how cheap it is, this is from SwissMoney.com. How much does it cost to transfer TRC20 USDT tokens? Transferring USDT on the Tron network, which is the protocol used by Tron, is generally considered one of the most cost-effective methods available. This is due to the lower transaction fees associated with TRC20 compared to other networks like Ethereum and literally any other layer one network. Now, what's the second thing that gives its value proposition is their TVL. So they rank number 2 in TVL, coming in at $8.34 billion. And the number one protocol here, shockingly, is JustLend, which is a lending and borrowing protocol launched by none other than Justin Sun himself. So just lend and borrow in the decentralized platform. You can supply and borrow. So 19 decentralized token markets. You can stake your TRX token. They have energy rental, and they give you supply and borrow APY. You can look at markets. You can take a look at liquidations, up to 10% on staking the TRX token. So DeFi is a big thing, although we might not see it here in the US or North America, but it's definitely massive over in Asia. Now, what about the future outlook, right? Well, we know Justin Sun got a lot of money, and he kind of puts his money where his mouth is. The guy is not afraid to invest money in his own projects. You can see here from Yahoo Finance, Justin Sun gives full effort to build a DeFi ecosystem. As a gesture of support, Tron founder and BitTorrent CEO Justin Sun invested a total of $450 million to reward DeFi miners, underlining his determination to pull out all stops to grow the DeFi ecosystem. Second thing, obviously, DeFi, you need stable coins. Well, they have their own stable coin called USDD. Taking a look at the all-time chart here, although USDD has spent more time depegged to $1 than it has pegged to $1, it's still something that could potentially have potential, bringing revenue into the Tron ecosystem. And again, going back to my earlier point, we know Justin Sun likes to spend money to grow the ecosystem, or at least prop up the ecosystem. So is there potential there? Yes. And of course, the last thing about potential is Asia is a massive market that continues to grow. With Justin's ties to the region, could Tron see more adoption outside of just stable coin transfers? Now, that was your first C tier token. Your second tier C token is Polkadot. Now, if you're not familiar, Polkadot is the brainchild of former Ethereum co-founder and computer scientist Gavin Wood. Polkadot was created to solve some of the issues Ethereum faced in the early days, like scalability and interoperability. Polkadot has consistently ranked among the top blockchain in terms of developer activity, but has underperformed in price, and not just in this cycle, but going all the way back to the last cycle. We take a look here on the Polkadot chart on the weekly. So over a span of 315 days, from low to top, Polkadot gained 973%. While competitors like Cardano, in a shorter time frame, saw rallies and they grew by over 1,900%. That's just me comparing it to one other chain. So someone has awakened the Polkadot beast, it seems, because there has been a marketing blitz to highlight the new thing that is coming to Polkadot, which is Polkadot 2.0, which Gavin Wood stated will change the way Polkadot assigns its resources. Now, what is the value proposition of Polkadot? Well, one is their canary network, which is Kusama. So if you didn't know, Kusama is considered the canary network of Polkadot. Why is this so innovative and important? Kusama is designed as a scalable multi-chain network for radical innovation and early deployments within the Polkadot ecosystem. Kusama plays a crucial role in ensuring the security of the Polkadot network. However, Kusama is not just a mere testnet like those of other blockchains. It has its own ecosystem and token system running in parallel with Polkadot. And also, what makes Polkadot unique here is their sharded multi-chain approach. So unlike traditional blockchains, Polkadot uses a sharded multi-chain approach. This means that it can process many transactions on multiple chains simultaneously. So here you can see a couple of things I've highlighted here from deepstash.com. What makes Polkadot unique? Custom blockchains are quick and easy to develop through the Substrate framework and can be connected to Polkadot's network within minutes. The network is also highly flexible and adaptive, allowing the sharing of information and functionality between participants similar to apps on a smartphone. That's one of the things that makes it unique, right? Is the sharded multi-chain and, of course, the custom blockchains. Now, what about the future outlook, right? What is Polkadot going for? The first thing I talked about was Polkadot 2.0. So a couple of things I've highlighted here. What is Polkadot 2.0? It's from Cointelegraph. The system would be more flexible than the current lease model, allowing developers to buy block space as needed, either in bulk or in demand. This, according to the crypto network developer, would make it easier for new projects to enter the Polkadot ecosystem. That's a win. He explained the changes would also make Polkadot more attractive to Web2 businesses that are adopting Web3 frameworks. Now, what kind of value could that bring to the DOT token? Scroll a little further down. To benefit holders and boost DOT value, entities with surplus core time may sell it. As a result, the secondary market value of DOT may grow. Additionally, decentralized finance services on Polkadot offer earning potential to DOT holders, which raises the token's use, value, and liquidity. Now, talking about future, I talked about Polkadot has always been at the forefront of developer activity. Take a look here. Over the last 2 years, developer activity on Polkadot has kind of tanked. And so does it mean the project is dead? No. It just means, hey, maybe as more layer ones and more projects are out there, maybe developers have looked and said, hey, look, Polkadot or Solana, Polkadot or Cardano, Polkadot or Toncoin or Avalanche or whatever the case may be, and maybe they're potentially leaving. And then will it be another letdown cycle for DOT this year? It's definitely high risk. And what I mean by high risk is the opportunity cost, right? Whereas you could put 10 grand in a Polkadot, right? It's a pretty high risk because we know you could put that 10 grand in probably something like Solana, maybe get a 5 to 10x, put 10K in a Cardano, get a 10x, or go a little bit further down the list. But you could be putting 10K in a Polkadot and getting a 3 to 4x. Is it going to underwhelm like it did? That is where the risk comes in, but also very high reward, right? Could DOT's performance in the last cycle wasn't very impressive. Can this cycle be different? Can we see a 20, 30, 40x from Polkadot? Maybe, potentially, that remains to be seen. So that was your last C tier token. Now we're moving in to the B tier token. And the first one I want to talk about is Toncoin. So Toncoin absolutely exploded on the scene, growing from a market cap of $3.3 billion to over $26 billion in less than 10 months. The Open Network, which is what it stands for, is a project created by Telegram, which boasts almost 1 billion users. Ton states that it can, quote, pool together scattered blockchains and the internet to build the next generational global network. There is definitely a lot of potential for Ton, which is a big reason why it made the B tier. Now, what is the value proposition of Ton? Obviously, the obvious answer is Telegram, right? 900 million users on the Telegram app. We take a look here from the ton.org website. Getting started is easy. All you need is Telegram. So the wallet gives direct and easy access to Ton from Telegram. Enjoy commission-free crypto transfers to any Telegram users. That's pretty big. Retain full control of your Toncoin and other digital assets with Ton Space, and seamlessly interact with Web3 apps. Also with native currency on the Telegram app. Telegram is leveraged by content creators like ourselves, other businesses, and casual users alike. All will have this built-in wallet at their fingertips with one simple prompt. All you gotta do is go to Telegram and pretty much type wallet. It'll prompt you. It gives you a step-by-step on exactly how to set up your Toncoin wallet. We're talking about things like paid groups, paying bonuses, kind of like a Zelle-like utility. And then also, right, what makes it unique, I want to share this video with you. This is from the Ton YouTube channel. It's a quick 1 minute, 44-second video kind of highlighting what makes Ton unique on an infrastructure level.
First, computers operated separately. Then some engineers connected two computers. Then there were 3, 4. So the internet was born. The internet has revolutionized our lives. A decade ago, decentralized blockchain technology emerged. By now, there are many different blockchains, but they are all loosely connected with each other and the rest of the world. There are cons and pros to both. The internet is fast and user-friendly. It has become a staple in our day-to-day life. Corporations collect user personal data, but we are almost okay with it, aren't we? Thanks to full decentralization, blockchains restore the lost freedom and security, yet they are a little bit lazy at times. Ton, the open network. Revolutionary technology introduced by the Telegram team and continued by the open source community. Ton can pull together scattered blockchains and the internet to build the next generation global network. Ton is designed as a blockchain of blockchains. It means it can be scaled up to admit more transactions and users, as well as to unite different blockchains. Ton components will help connect decentralized networks and the internet. In tech terms, a smart contract from one blockchain will be able to exchange data with smart contracts from the other blockchains, as well as to access files and websites. The world was not the same after two computers got connected to give the start to the internet. Today, Ton is to bring in similar changes by uniting the internet and blockchains. New protocol.
So, pretty interesting infrastructure there, right? Now, what about the future, the potential outlook? Let's talk about Telegram, obviously. So, look at these numbers on the growth of Telegram. This is from keystaragency.com. Each day, about 1.5 million new users join Telegram every single day on average. Telegram has seen an average annual growth rate of over 40% for the past 10 years. That is insane. So almost 50% growth every single year for the last decade. And you have a network that is directly plugged into that system. Amazing. Telegram has achieved over 1 billion cumulative app downloads in 2023 alone. So will the numbers continue? Maybe, but even if they drop off 20, 30%, it's still massive upside for Telegram and, of course, for the Ton chain. Now, it also has the new chain on the block hype, right? So Ton looks like it might be the new shiny blockchain of the cycle. Solana was the last one in the last cycle. VC money just absolutely poured in. And then you take a look. So now, speaking of VC money pouring in, take a look at this. Pantera Capital, one of the most well-known, well-respected VC firms in all of crypto. Their largest fund is in Toncoin, right? Their largest fund is in Toncoin. And if we take a look at, hey, their rich list, the top 100 holders control around 93% of the token. Now, obviously, this is not good for decentralization. But if we take the other side of it and we say, well, if they're enticed and they see retail start to pile in, they can now hold on to those tokens. There's less sell pressure, and we can see just a massive rise in the price of the Ton coin as these VCs hold on to. Obviously, eventually they're going to start dumping, and so you want to make sure you try to get out before the VCs, maybe leave some profits on the table if you do have exposure. But it's still pretty massive, right? Money drives the ecosystem, money drives growth, and Toncoin could come out of this cycle as the most well-funded layer one in the entire space. Now, that was Toncoin. Let's talk about the next beer tier token, and don't get mad at me, and I'll explain why, but it is Ethereum. And really, I mean, does Ethereum really need an introduction here, right? The king of DeFi, king of liquidity, king of dApps, TVL, the first ever smart contract platform in the history of crypto. Two of the projects in this video are created by former Ethereum founders and employees. of course, Gavin Wood, and I'm foreshadowing a little bit here, Charles Hoskinson. You might be asking yourself, so then why the hell is Ethereum in tier B and not tier A or tier S? If this list was made just 3 years ago, ETH would be the only project in the S tier and everything else would be below it. But times have changed, and the change is great for their competitors like Solana, like Cardano, and for the space as a whole as well. Now remember, this video is ranking the layer 1, not rollups or layer 2 solutions. So as a layer 1, Ethereum falls, unfortunately, into the B tier category. Now, what makes Ethereum unique? What makes it valuable? Obviously, longevity and security. It's been around the longest, battle tested. The one big thing we can point to was that DAO hack that happened where it split off of Ethereum Classic. But hey, people still trust it. The biggest enterprises trust it. You take a look here. BlackRock, their first seeding of RWAs was on Ethereum, right? So BlackRock enters asset tokenization race with new fund on the Ethereum network. The other thing, value proposition here is they're next in line for an ETF. So this is from CoinSpeaker. Although it looks kind of grim now, right? You can see your spot Ethereum ETF applications in the US will likely be rejected by the SEC. Odds don't look good now, but ETF filers will surely take the SEC to court and get similar results like the Bitcoin ETF lawsuit did. I mean, when you have giants like Fidelity, like BlackRock, like ARK, we take a look at BlackRock. Only one time have they ever been denied. We know Grayscale just pulled their filing, and a lot of people are speculating, saying this is something they did similar to Bitcoin. It got rejected, and then they went to court and won. Could they be setting up for something similar for the Ethereum ETF? You also take a look at larger flows into ETH than the Bitcoin ETF, right? When that does happen, talk about staking utility, right? The ability for ETF issuers to take the Ethereum they buy on behalf of their clients, stake it, earn yield on top of the fees they charge, whatever that is, the 0.2, the 0.25, or maybe they'll take that 4 or 5% yield from Ethereum staking and make it a zero fee for the client to have exposure to the ETF, which of course could usher in a large amount of money, bringing in value to the Ethereum ecosystem. The other thing here that gives Ethereum its value proposition is, I mean, the people just are building it, right? Ethereum Foundation has arguably the biggest collection of the highest level devs in the entire space. You take a look at Token Terminal here, core developers, 228, code commits over the last 30 days, 1,560. You compare that to a chain that is often touted as leading the most developer activity, Cardano. Core developers, 109, so less than half of what Ethereum has. Code commits about 1,000 over the last 30 days. So people are still building on Ethereum. Now, what is the future and the future outlook of Ethereum look like, right? So will the liquidity king be dethroned, right? Being the chain with the most liquidity was always a huge sticking point going for Ethereum. As the space continues to go towards full interoperability, the liquidity on ETH will be accessible from any other layer 1, right? So better user experiences from chains like Solana and Near will continue to draw users away from Ethereum. And layer 2s are just continuing to take over. You take a look here. This was tweeted by Zero Hedge. Ethereum ecosystem's daily active users. You can see a trend here. Back in January of 2022, in the black is the Ethereum mainnet. So daily active users on Ethereum mainnet is continuing to diminish as layer 2 and rollup solutions continue to explode. What does that mean? That means people are saying, look, layer 1 is too expensive, it's too slow. I'd rather use Polygon. I'd rather use Base, Arbitrum, Blast, Mantle, and every other layer 2 that's going to come moving forward. And then also, like, when are we going to get these low fees? And don't tell me that, oh, yesterday I put in transaction that was $1. Sure. But what happens when retail comes in? What happens when the mass amount of coins and tokens and NFTs, are people going to have to pay, 0.25 ETH when ETH is worth $10,000 to mint an NFT or to mint a token or to do an airdrop or to claim things? And so we're like 10 years in and we're still paying these exorbitant fees when you can literally go on Solana and pay like a minuscule, not even, it's so hard to compare because it's so tiny. And so that's kind of why Ethereum made the B list. Love it or hate it, that is what it is. Now, let's get into the A tier. And the first A tier token that I would like to talk about is Avalanche. So Avalanche is, I call it the Swiss Army knife of the layer 1s. And this is rooted in their evergreen subnets. Whether you're a gaming project looking to leverage Avalanche's super fast finality or a Web2 enterprise that needs to adhere to strict regulations and guidelines, the Avalanche subnet technology can fulfill all of your blockchain needs. AVAX has arguably the most 100x narratives, including gaming and RWA tokenization. The AVAX ecosystem has been overshadowed by the massive success of other layer ones like Solana and Near, but Avalanche is not a layer one that you want to sleep on. Let's talk about what gives it the value proposition. Number one, I talked about in the beginning is evergreen subnet. So take a look from the website here, powering the next generation of finance about Avalanche Evergreen. So Avalanche Evergreen subnets offer a suite of blockchain deployments and tooling designed to address company-specific and industry-wide considerations. Evergreen subnets maintain the benefits of public network development, including interoperability and composability, while enabling a particular chain-level features only possible in enterprise solutions. The second one, the value proposition, is gaming. All right, so we take a look here. Why gaming on Avalanche? Your game, your chain, your rules. As I scroll down here, create a seamless player experience with zero gas fees or scaling limitations through personalized gaming blockchains on Avalanche. Interoperability via warp messaging, right? Interoperability via warp messaging. Building your own chain doesn't put you in a silo. High performance custom virtual machines, gas token flexibility, and with over 100 live chains on Avalanche, it's tried and true. You have games and hypes such as Shrapnel, DeFi Kingdoms, Off the Grid. And Off the Grid's a big one. I want to spend a little bit of time on this. But this is gaming on Avalanche. So build for millions of players. Our partnership with Avalanche not only allows us to leverage its highly scalable and secure blockchain infrastructure, but also ensures that a seamless, low latency gaming experience for our players. That is Vlad Korolev, the CEO of Gunzilla, who is the studio behind Off the Grid. Now, Off the Grid also was reviewed by arguably the most influential gaming streamer in the space, and that is none other than Dr. Disrespect. He did this video, and I'm not going to play the whole thing, but you can see here.
We'll try to get above him. Welcome. And that's the actor.
I mean, he did a full, this is a 7-minute clip of the video he did. And so why is that important? Well, we want to bring it to the masses. And so what better way than the largest gaming streamer in the entire internet to be able to review the game? And also you have the enterprises here as well. Blockchain gaming. So highlighting MasterCard here and Deloitte, enterprises that are leveraging and using to build on Avalanche. So this is massive. And I mentioned again, the most 100x narratives, gaming, 100x narrative, DeFi, 100x narrative, RWA, 100x narrative, enterprises, 100x narrative. You take a look at, speaking of enterprises, we talk about partnerships all the time. Oh, this one partnered with Amazon Web Services. Avalanche actually partnered with Amazon Web Services. Listen to this little exchange. So this is from Bradley Feinstein, the business development of Web3 at AWS. And he was speaking on Avalanche and why they decided to partner with them.
We are supporting the builders here. As we pointed out, it's a multifaceted approach, right? When we look to engage with this ecosystem, it is both technical, right? So that's the first step to any of this, right? APIs, competencies, ensuring that our customers have access to solutions architects and those that can help them build systems, build infrastructure that work, that is safe, that is secure, that is scalable.
Safe, secure, and scalable. So there you have it from Amazon. Now, let's talk about the future and the potential of Avalanche, right? You have the growth of their subnets. It's a big one here. So we take a look at the subnets here from the Avalanche website. Over 1,737 validators. You have some subnets here, including Beam, which also goes into the gaming narrative. Now, why is this important? Think about this. Each subnet that is launched on mainnet requires 5 validators minimum. And each validator requires 2,000 AVAX tokens as labeled here from their website. So if you want to launch a subnet, you got to have a minimum of 5,000 or 5 validators at 2,000 AVAX token per validator. That's 10,000 tokens. Do the math. Hey, I want to launch an Avalanche. Great. You need 10,000 tokens. obviously price go up. Growth of gaming on the blockchain. Take a look here. So experts are saying $614 billion is going to be the size of the blockchain gaming industry over the next 6 years. And if Avalanche has 2, 3, 4, 5 massive games that are onboarding tons of users that have influential voices behind it, like Dr. Disrespect and anyone else out there, imagine if other games or projects decide to launch subnets gaming on Avalanche. So that's pretty massive. And the other one here that people normally talk about is payments, right? People often talk about the thing that makes the most sense for crypto is stablecoin and payments. Well, Stripe has joined forces with Avalanche for seamless fiat to crypto onboarding. So I'm not sure if you knew this. You probably never heard of Stripe, but guess what? 9 out of 10 people who have ever shopped at a small business, online or brick and mortar, have used Stripe. And so now that's going to be integrated. USDC on Avalanche is going to be integrated on Stripe. So super bullish on Avalanche. That is why it is in the A tier. Now, your last A tier token is the layer 1 that has more lives than seemingly a cat, right? It's been deemed dead more times than I can count. And it's none other than Cardano. People are so quick to forget what kind of returns Cardano brought holders and speculators alike in the last bull market, and somehow believe that this cycle will fall short of another magical run, despite the fact that there is actual utility for the ADA token. Last cycle, no smart contracts, no dApps, NFTs, DeFi, did a 60x. This cycle, all of the above, plus governance and treasury, and it's dead? Doesn't make sense. What gives Cardano its value proposition? The number one thing, and some people don't put a lot of weight on this, but this is extremely important, is security and decentralization, right? Over 10 million Cardano blocks and not a single failure or hack. It is the most decentralized platform in all of crypto. You take a look here from this website, Cardano continues to rank number 1 across all coefficients that label decentralization and security. Take a look at the Gini coefficient. Cardano is ranked number 1. The Shannon entropy, which measures the unpredictability of randomness of data. If the entropy is high, it means the data is very random and very hard to predict, meaning more decentralized. Hey, look at that. Cardano took first place. Also, the Herfindahl-Hirschman index, right? What does this mean? The output of the metric is closer to real zero. It's a measure of market concentration. Cardano, Tezos, and Bitcoin Cash rank in that order, respectively, being Cardano number 1. You have the Thiel index, is another measure of entropy that is intended to capture the lack of diversity or redundancy, right? It measures how far the population is from egalitarian state of everyone having the same income. In context, the EDI dashboard is used to measure the distribution of wealth among the participants in the network. Oh, look at that. Cardano emerges number 1. Also, max power ratio, T decentralization index. Cardano continues to rank among the top. Also, speaking of decentralization, we've seen a lot of issues with other layer 1s going down, outages. We got to unplug, plug it back in. Well, Cardano, it kind of had its own test, as you can see here from CoinDesk. Cardano network quickly recovers after brief node outage. The important thing here is it automatically fixed within minutes. No need for any central entity or person or group of people to go in there and intervene and fix the thing. It did it on itself, right? And let's talk about innovation, right? What gives Cardano its value? You have Ouroboros, right? The first blockchain to introduce true on-chain liquid staking. And if you take a look here from the Cardano Explorer website, over 60% of all ADA tokens are currently staked. It's gotten as high as over 75%. And part of it is because of what Cardano introduced years ago with true on-chain liquid staking. You have other things, right? Innovating, partnering with companies like GSR. So Cardano ADA growth on the horizon. Emergo and GSR partnership paves way for ecosystem expansion. You take a look here from the GSR website. I'm sure you probably heard of them on X and Twitter, but GSR has 10 years of deep crypto market expertise as a market maker and active multi-stage investor. We build long-term relationships by offering exceptional service and trading capabilities tailored to the specific needs of our clients. So that is big. Now, what about the future, right? The future of Cardano, what makes it exciting? Well, obviously the first one here is Voltaire, right? The final stage of the original Cardano roadmap, which essentially We're going to take the keys out of the car, and Charles is going to be like, okay, Ada community, here you go. The car is yours. Do whatever you want with it, but make sure this thing continues to grow. So this is from the Cardano website. The Voltaire era of Cardano will provide the final pieces required for the Cardano network to become a self-sustaining system. It'll unlock voting and treasury system, and network participants will be able to use their stake and voting rights to influence the future development of the network. Now, unlocking $1 billion of treasury money, holders and voters obviously will be incentivized to pass proposals that will benefit the network and potentially benefit the token price. What else do we have to look forward to? Well, digital identities is going to be a big one, and through Atala Prism, Cardano is looking to put its stake down as far as the leader in that industry. So Atala Prism is a self-sovereign identity platform and service suite for verifiable data and digital identity. Built on Cardano, it offers core infrastructure for issuing decentralized identifiers and verifiable credentials, alongside tools and frameworks to help expand your ecosystem. Obviously, when we talk about IDs, decentralization and security are one of the most important things. You talk about a developer frenzy, right? So for years, Cardano has been knocked for being the hardest chain to build on. We're using the Haskell programming language. Although it is one of the safest, it's also one of the most difficult to use. Well, Marlowe is looking to change that. Create and execute smart contracts in minutes. This is from the Marlowe IOHK website. With options to code in JavaScript, Haskell, Marlowe, or the drag and drop solution Blockly, it couldn't be easier to use Cardano. Also, speaking of the future, Cardano is essentially trilemma proof, right? 100% uptime and no breaches. Security, that's number one. Scalability, that's number two. You have Hydra heads, being able to get up to 100,000 transactions or 1,000 transactions per node pool per second. Multiply that by however many node pools are there, which is over 3,000, and going to continue to grow. Cardano is going to go to mass scalability and also decentralization. Rewind the video and go over everything I said. Now, that is your last A-tier token. We're getting into the cream of the crop here. Now, before I get into said cream of the crop, do us a favor, like the video. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. A lot of time and work went into this video. So your first S-tier token is Near Protocol, right? Near Protocol is one of the fastest growing user bases in all of crypto. What makes Near unique and valuable is they have mastered the balance of putting users and developers first. Some call it perfect, right? It's fast, scalable, robust, developer-friendly, user-friendly, breaker of barriers, and a badass team. Near is an easy S-tier number one coin here. So launched in 2020, Near has come such a long way in a short period of time with a massive amount of potential left to fulfill. What gives Near its value? First thing, chain abstraction, right? So Near launches from CoinDesk, multi-chain transaction from one account feature. This is a quote from founder Ilya Polasukin. Since day one, the Near ecosystem has focused on simplifying access to Web3 for developers and mainstream users. Chain signatures is the next step in that journey, making it significantly easier to transact on any blockchain while also defragmenting liquidity across the ecosystem. Second thing is their data availability, an efficient and robust data availability layer, trusted by forward-thinking teams, including Arbitrum, Polygon, Optimism, rollups as a service, including Caldera and Anchor, and blockchains, including Frax and Particle Network. Plug Near's DA layer into your L2 framework and start publishing transaction data on a blockchain with a proven trajectory of 100% uptime over its lifetime. And it's comparing their DA comparison as far as price to Celestia, Ethereum, pre-4844 upgrade, the Proto-Dank sharding, and Ethereum post, and Near blows all of them out of the water, right? I did mention very user and developer friendly. Take a look here. Near, the blockchain for end users, named addresses, unique key streams, inexpensive, blazing fast, and reliable. That's on the user side. What about the developers? Smart contracts. So Near's WebAssembly runtime lets you craft smart contracts using well-known languages such as JavaScript and Rust, and JavaScript, of course, being the most popular used programming language in the world. Built-in account abstraction. You can cover your gas fees as a developer for the end user. And this one's very interesting. Built-in developer incentive. Every time code runs on a smart contract you create as a developer, you will earn 30% commission on the burned gas fees. So it incentivizes people and developers to not only build on the blockchain, but build badass projects that people are going to use. Now, what about the future of Near Protocol? What makes Near exciting and sexy, right? So Near's future is extremely bright with a great team and leaders behind them. They continue to excel in all key metrics like new unique users, addresses, transactions. They're continuing to build. We take a look here. Just reading this headline, Near Protocol registers the highest retention amid all layer ones. What does that mean? People are coming and people are not leaving. They're staying, right? It's the same idea. Hey, I just need someone to come through the door. I have built such an amazing restaurant. I just need you to come taste my food. I built such an amazing blockchain. I need you to come try it out. And people end up staying. Says a lot about the blockchain. Also, are they coming for Solana? Right? Solana, the next best alternative. A lot of people are saying it's a better version of Solana, more uptime. I'm not making that comparison personally. This is just a narrative. If they are coming for Solana, take a look at Solana's all-time high market cap of $100 billion, currently sitting at 65.7. Where is Near? Near is at 7.7 billion and a $13 billion all-time high market cap. If this thing gets to Solana levels or surpasses Solana, obviously it could be pretty massive. Speaking of Solana, Solana is your next S-tier token that made this list. Now, arguably the hottest layer one in all of crypto, Solana has cemented itself as a project worthy of being in the top 5 after the FTX fallout brought the price of Solana token to its knees. The project rebounded in a massive way, going from sub $10 to over $200. The Solana ecosystem has absolutely exploded, minting millionaires in the process. The impressive thing about all the growth is that it all happened exclusively on the base layer, the layer 1. No layer 2s, no rollups on the layer 1, which is why it is in the S tier. Not only are Solana's current metrics impressive, but the future looks even brighter with the long-awaited Firedancer validator client just around the corner. If successful, Firedancer will change Solana from a 4-cylinder Toyota Camry to a supercharged McLaren F1. And this comes from someone who does own a 4-cylinder Toyota Camry. What is the value proposition of Solana? It is the most user-friendly, right? Every dApp that launches, the first thing that comes to mind is it's user-friendly. Let's take a look here at Jupiter, right? Jupe.ag, being able to swap and tap into any liquidity pool on Solana, whether it's Orca, Meteora, Radium, Jupiter, doesn't matter. You can do it all through one interface, one click, extremely easy. It has user protections in there, slippage protections, MEV protections. You also take a look at something like Phantom. Anytime someone wants to do in the Solana ecosystem, or even Ethereum and Polygon, because that is also native on Phantom as well, I say you need to go download the Phantom wallet, right? So your trusted companion, you can download it as a web browser. You can download it on your phone, multiple chains, one wallet, no switching, seamless access to the largest NFT marketplaces. You can showcase your NFT marketplace, monitor activity with transaction history and notifications, and no limits on token balances or transactions, right? Also, the second thing is it's fast and it's very cheap. You take a look at Solana TPS currently in real time, almost 2,400 transactions per second, according to SolanaBeach.io. It's also very cheap, right? You take a look at the last block, 1,300 transactions, total fees paid was less than 1/10 of one Solana. 1,300 transactions, less than 1/10 of one Solana was paid in fees. No wonder people are going on there. And also, of course, everything happens on the layer 1. It erases faults and potential failure points with layer 2s or rollups that are built on top. Now, what about the future of Solana? I can just do one thing and talk about Firedancer, but I'm not going to. Well, I am going to talk about Firedancer, but more things as well. So Firedancer, the future of Solana, absolute game changer. Firedancer, the game changer that is set to fix all of Solana's issues, crank its performance by 10x, hitting 1 million transactions per second, and could make Solana the blockchain. Take a look here, median time to finality, comparing Solana with Firedancer, it is expected to be at par or better than centralized exchanges like Kraken, Binance, Coinbase. 400 to 500 milliseconds expected median variance at the time of writing. And so that is coming also from one of the Solana developers here. The final integration of the Firedancer client is well underway. Once this thing hits, what are people going to say about why Solana is not an S-tier blockchain? Also, future stable coins, right? Visa did an entire write-up on Solana and stable coins. A deep dive on Solana from Visa. Solana Blockchain's network has attributes like high transaction throughput and scalability at low cost that help make it a good candidate for payments and Visa stablecoin settlement pilot. They have a couple things here. So average transaction fee comparing Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana, and I want you to take a guess at which one the one is Solana is. It's the line at the very bottom that has stayed flat, right? Typically, flat lines are not good, but in this case, they are very good. Also, towards the bottom here, blockchain confirmation time in seconds and minutes, Solana compared to Avalanche, Flow, Algorand, Stellar, Arbitrum, Ethereum, 0.4 seconds. The next fastest is Avalanche at 2 seconds. And so you had that. You also had Stripe, as mentioned earlier with Avalanche. They decided to come onto the space, and the 3 chains they decided to go with first are Solana, Ethereum, and Polygon. And FireDancer is only going to make it even sexier for people to use Solana on an everyday basis. Now, the last S-tier token is none other than ICP. The most under-researched, over-criticized, and undervalued layer 1 in this space, in my belief. The internet computer is truly a unicorn in a forest full of deer, accomplishing feats years before their competitors and never getting the credit for it, right? From running AI-ran smart contracts 100% on-chain, 100% on-chain cloud storage, and bridgeless interoperability to ecosystems like Bitcoin and Ethereum, ICP truly stands alone. Let's talk about what gives ICP its value proposition. This is from their website, World Computer Capabilities, serve web directly from smart contracts. So the internet computer is the only blockchain with canister smart contracts that can serve web by processing HTTP requests. This allows 100% of online services to run from the blockchain, which allows for full decentralization, connect Web 2 and Web 3 without oracles, internet identity, Web 3 auth using web authentication, breakthrough performance, low latency, and high throughput. As mentioned, 100% on-chain, no cloud. There's no other infrastructure, layer 1, that does this at scale like ICP. Speaking of scale, infinite scalability. This is from the Internet Computer website. The Internet Computer is designed to scale infinitely. It means that the Internet Computer can host an unlimited number of canisters, store an unlimited amount of memory, process an unlimited amount of transactions per second. Infinitely scalable. Also, AI capabilities, right? The first ever blockchain to have a 100% AI ran smart contract hosted on their platform. And this is Dominic Williams, the chief scientist of Dfinity, talking a little bit about AI running on
deterministic time slicing. It's a huge achievement. So the internet computer actually can run smart contract computations that span multiple blocks. And essentially what it does is it has like 4 logical processors, which are actually real processors on these node machines. And it puts a smart contract onto the processor, lets it consume a certain number of cycles, internet computer equivalent of gas, and then takes it off the processor and puts another smart contract on. And
Interesting.
The computations, these smart contract functions that are being invoked, which transactions essentially, can be executed over multiple blocks. And so you can actually do a huge amount of computation in a single smart contract transaction.
That's amazing, man. Absolutely amazing. And then we know right after Arweave came out with their AO computer, stating they're the first to do it, but we know ICP is. Also, what brings its utility? Native interoperability. This is pretty big. Not a lot of people talk about this. I don't understand why. So being able to tap into different ecosystems or getting an asset on your, let's say you want a Bitcoin on Solana, it's probably gonna have to be wrapped. Well, the problem is when you wrap something, you have to use a central entity or as another project, wrap it, and there's a lot of pain points and areas of points of failure that you can have. Well, ICP is changing the game with their native Bitcoin integration via their canisters. So the internet computer is integrated with Bitcoin on the protocol level. The canister smart contracts it hosts can create Bitcoin addresses, as well as send and receive Bitcoin directly on the Bitcoin network. This means Bitcoin can be easily and securely incorporated into DeFi and Web3 services on the internet computer blockchain without having to trust wrapped Bitcoin from centralized bridging services. That is Bitcoin. Also, and this leads me into the future of ICP, is the same thing, but with Ethereum, the largest smart contract platform. So ICP as an Ethereum sidechain. So a couple things I've highlighted here. EVM on the internet computer. Bitfinity is delivering a turnkey solution for developers to operate their ETH dApps on the internet computer using Solidity, which is the programming language on Ethereum, which brings ICP's 1 to 2 second finality and near zero transaction fees to established Ethereum dApps. Full protocol integration involves realizing an on-chain Ethereum API on the internet computer that will enable smart contracts on IC to call smart contracts on Ethereum and vice versa. So same idea. Also, as far as the future, I did reach out to a channel friend, Kyle Langum, who's the the head of data over at Internet Computer and Dfinity. I asked him, what are the exciting things you guys are looking forward to in the next 12 to 18 months? He gave me 3 things. First thing he gave me is chain fusion, right? So in the next 6 months, ICP will be able to read and write most, maybe all, of major blockchains, making it a full stack layer 0 to the industry, including data, compute, and front end. Apps will be able to transact across the entire crypto landscape, so no need to think in tribalism terms anymore. And it also makes ICP a data availability, DePIN, AI, etc. play for every chain. Speaking of AI, ICP can already host basic AI fully on chain, but insane optimizations, according to Kyle, are coming in the next 12 months, including 1 to 2 terabyte data storage per smart contract, GPU support, and determinism will enable full LLM and other AI models and interfaces to be hosted fully on-chain. And the last one Kyle told me is Utopia, the ability for countries and companies to host their own sovereign cloud, which will unlock enterprises moving to crypto. Talks about data privacy, secure communications, tamper-proof, IP, etc. are all things that enterprises care about and will be possible in the next year or two. So not only is what ICP doing now amazing, but the work they're going to be doing in the next 12 to 18 months is also amazing, which is why they are in the S tier. I hope you guys got a lot of value out of this. What are your thoughts? What did I get wrong? What did I miss? Would you change any of the rankings? Let us know in the comment section. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and come check out our live show Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.